an AppleVis original.
Hey, AppleVissors, Tyler here, with a demonstration and walkthrough of BeMyEyes for Mac. With BeMyEyes for Mac, you can use BMAI to receive high-quality descriptions of visual content right on your Mac. Like other BeMyEyes products, it's free to the consumer and can be downloaded from BeMyEyes.com, link in the description. When you open it for the first time, you'll be prompted to sign in with your account, either with your email address or an SSO option like Apple, Facebook, or Google, after which you'll be asked to grant a few permissions needed for the app to function, and then you'll be presented with the interface, which in my opinion is slick and easy to use. And I'm going to demonstrate that now by opening BeMyEyes on my Mac.
Applications window. BeMyEyes application. Open. BeMyEyes quick actions selected tab.
Okay, so here we are in the BeMyEyes app. It landed on the quick actions tab, which appears to be selected. If I VO left to orient to the window here.
BeMyEyes.
BeMyEyes, and then
full screen button. Actions available.
And full screen, minimize, close, which is the window controls, and then just VO right.
BeMyEyes. Quick actions selected tab.
We have quick actions.
History tab.
History.
Tip. Get started with BeMyEyes button.
We have a tip, and then if I want to dismiss that, because I already know what I'm doing here, I'm going to VO right.
Dismiss tip button.
Dismiss.
Screenshot. Command Option S button.
And here I am, and it has apparently interacted me with the Describe with BeMyAI group. So if I press VO Shift Up arrow.
How to describe with BeMyAI group.
If I VO left.
History tab.
We have the History tab, VO right.
Describe with BeMyAI group.
Describe with BeMyAI.
Describe with BeMyAI group.
And that's the only thing in this interface, at least the top level of it. So I'm going to interact now with VO Shift Down arrow.
In Describe with BeMyAI group. 5 items describe with BeMyAI. Command Option S button.
Okay, that's Screenshot, Command Option S.
Image, Command Option I button.
Image, Command Option I.
Clipboard, Command Option C button.
Clipboard, Command Option C.
Take picture, Command Option W button.
Take picture, Command Option W. Now, these keyboard shortcuts are global, meaning as long as the app is opened, the shortcuts will be intercepted by BeMyEyes to perform that action. So I could be in another app, and if I want to take a screenshot, I just press Command Option S, and BeMyEyes will intercept that shortcut and take the screenshot, which is what I'm going to demonstrate now by opening, say, Pages, and I'm going to perform a command that I've assigned to open Pages.
Pages, open window, list view.
And VO right to New Document.
New Document button. Untitled window, body, edit text, actions available.
Okay, so here we are in a blank Pages document. I want to take a screenshot of it. When you press Command Option S, it takes a picture of the entire screen. So whatever's on that screen, whatever apps, windows, will be included as part of that screenshot, except for the BeMyEyes window. My understanding is that that is automatically excluded from the screenshot. So I only want the Pages app to be displayed. I don't know what else is on the screen visually, and I don't want anything else as part of the screenshot but Pages. So I'm going to hide others. You can do this from any app in macOS. Just go to that app's menu, choose Hide Others, or press Command Option H, which is what I'm going to do now.
Hide others.
Now I'm going to press Command Option S to take a screenshot.
BeMyEyes window, message input, edit text, waiting for response.
Now, at the time of recording, July 2026, VoiceOver doesn't speak the response as it comes in. The only way to really know is when the music stops. So now that the music has stopped, I'm going to press VO left to get out of the chat box.
2 of 2 from BeMyEyes, 10:53 p.m. A Pages document window with a blank white page is open in the center of the screen. At the top of the screen is the Pages menu bar with these visible items: Pages, File, Edit, Insert, Format, Arrange, View, Window, Help. On the right side of the Pages window, the Formatting sidebar is open under the Text tab. In the font section, Helvetica Neue is selected. Style, regular, size, 11 point, bold, italic, underline, and strike through buttons are present, as well as alignment and spacing controls. Near the upper right area, overlapping the sidebar, there is a dark gray notification style box that says Hide Others with an X close button on its left side. At the bottom of the document window, centered, there is a status indicator that says 0 words. There are no error messages on the screen. If the goal is to get rid of the Hide Others message using the keyboard on Mac OS, press Command key and the period key together, Command plus period, to dismiss many transient dialogues. If that does not work, press Command plus tab to switch to a different app, then Command plus tab again to return to Pages, which often clears temporary overlays.
Okay, so that's the message generated by BeMyAI. If I VO left again.
1 of 2 from me, 2:53 a.m. image.
That's the message, the image I sent. For some reason, my messages seem to be displayed as sent from UTC time rather than my time, which is Eastern. Not sure why that is, if that's a bug. I've not found any settings for why that would be. But in any case, if I VL left again,
Delete chat button.
we have delete chat, which deletes it from your history. My understanding is that BeMyEyes and OpenAI do not train on this data, but if you no longer want it in your history, you can just hit delete chat.
Share chat button.
You can share chat,
Keep chat button.
keep chat. If you want it to stay, longer than 30 days, hit that. Otherwise, it'll be deleted from your history after 30 days.
Back button.
You have back, which you can also do by pressing Command left bracket.
Response received. Chat now has 2 messages.
Okay, response received. Chat now has 2 messages. That's like a status message.
BeMyEyes.
And then BeMyEyes. And then, of course, if you VO left some more, you'd have the window controls. So I'm going to VO right now.
Response back button. Keep chat. Share chat. Delete chat. 1 of 2 from me. 2 of 2 from BMAI.
So here I am on the message from BMAI. If I want to copy that message, hit Command C. If I want to open what's called a message preview, which is basically where the message is contained in a web content group, useful if I wanted to, for example, use the arrow keys to navigate the message or select part of the text, I'd hit the space bar. And I would learn these shortcuts by pressing VO-Shift-M on this message to access the context menu, which is what I'm going to do now.
Message actions dialog. Copy message. Command C button. Copy message.
Copy message and
Open message preview. Space button.
open message preview. So that's what I'm going to hit.
BeMyEyes window. 2 of 2. BeMyEyes. BeMyEyes. Message preview window. BeMyEyes. Message preview window.
Okay, so now it opened a message preview window. This is a web content group, which I'm going to interact with now.
Web content. In web content banner.
And arrow keys are not doing anything. So this is interesting because when I open these previews, at the time of recording, July 2026, multiple instances of BeMyEyes will open when you open a message preview. It's separate from the main BeMyEyes app for whatever reason. So if I Command Tab,
BeMyEyes. BeMyEyes. BeMyEyes window. 2 of 2 from me.
we have my chat. If I Command Tab again,
BeMyEyes. BeMyEyes.
we're back in the message preview.
BeMyEyes. Message preview window. At the top of the screen is the
I'm using the arrow keys now.
screen. At the top of the screen is the Pages menu bar with these visible items. Pages. Key top of the screen is the Pages.
Hold the Shift key.
Edit. Insert. Format. Arrange. View. Window. Help. On. Selected.
And of course, I could navigate and select with the arrows and the Shift arrows and copy with Command C, etc. I think in the future, an improvement would be if this was just a pop-out window as part of the BeMyEyes app. That way it's more consistent with the behavior of other macOS apps. But in any case, I'm going to close it now with Command W.
BeMyEyes. BeMyEyes window. 2 of 2 from BeMyEye.
Okay, so 2 of 2 from BeMyAI. If you're right.
Message input. Edit text.
Message input, I'm going to ask a follow-up. I'm going to say,
W A T
What
space
does
D up E at space quotation mark A up D D space up T A P R S quotation mark space N E A N question. What does hide others mean? Delete. What does hide others mean? Waiting for response.
okay, the music stopped. I'm going to VL left.
4 from BMAI. 10:58 p.m. Hide others is a Mac OS command that hides every other open app's windows and leaves only the current app, in this case, Pages, visible. It doesn't close anything. The other apps keep running in the background. You can bring them back by pressing Command plus Tab to switch to them, or by clicking their icons in the dock.
Okay, so that's a demonstration of screenshots and how to interact with BeMyAI output. So I'm going to go back now with Command left bracket to get to the main screen.
Quick actions selected. Tab.
So here I am back in Quick Actions. So now I want to demonstrate describing an image on my computer. I'm going to do that by pressing Command Option I for image. I could click the image button, or I could press Command Option I from anywhere in macOS if the BeMyEyes app is opened. So I'm going to do that now.
Quick actions selected. Tab.
Command Option I.
Sidebar table.
And I'm going to, because this image is in my downloads folder, I'm going to press Command Option L to jump there. And VO right.
Back button for list. Change the downloads. Verticals. Search text field blank. List view table.
And
BME image test.jpg image. Today at
okay, this is the one. Press return.
BeMyEyes window. Message input. Edit text. Waiting for response.
Okay, the music stopped. I'm going to VO left.
2 of 2 from BMyEyes, 10:59 p.m. Two men wearing tandem skydiving harnesses in the open doorway of a small airplane. They are close together, with the man in back appearing to be the instructor, wearing dark sunglasses and a dark shirt. The man in front is wearing clear goggles, a light colored t-shirt, and red patterned shorts, leaning forward toward the open door. The interior of the plane is light colored with padded walls and a small light fixture on the ceiling. Through the open door, blue sky and wispy clouds are visible, indicating the plane is at altitude and the pair are preparing for a jump.
Okay, so that's the image. So with any image on your Mac, if it's in the Finder, just press Command-Option-I, locate it with the open dialog, and you get an output with BeMyAI, which you can ask a follow-up question if you want, same as a screenshot or any other BeMyAI image content. So that's demonstrating an image. So if I Command-Left bracket to go back.
Quick Actions, selected, tab.
We have clipboard, which basically, if you find an image somewhere, you can copy it to the clipboard and press Command-Option-C from anywhere in macOS to have the contents of the clipboard described. And then we have Take Picture, which allows you to use your Mac's camera or presumably an external camera if you have one, or your iPhone's camera to take a picture of whatever is in view. I've not tested external cameras, but I'm going to press Command-Option-W to take a picture using my Mac's camera.
Message input, edit text, waiting for response.
Okay, VO left.
2 of 2 from BeMyEyes, 11:01 p.m. A dimly lit indoor room with a person in the lower center of the frame. The camera is angled upward, so most of what is visible is the ceiling, a bright round ceiling light near the top right, and a closed white door behind you. Your face is in shadow because the main light source is above and slightly behind you, which makes it harder to see your facial features clearly. Your skin tone appears light, and only the upper part of your shoulders and head are visible. If you are trying to get a clear picture of yourself, try turning on a light in front of you, for example, a desk lamp behind your monitor, or rotate so that the ceiling light is in front of you instead of above and behind. This will brighten your face and reduce shadows.
Okay, so say if I was, for example, preparing for an on-camera call. I'd taken a picture and it said I'm not totally in frame, but I'm going to adjust now. The lighting in this room is only so well, and I cannot see it. But then again, this is just a demo, so I'm going to try to arrange to the camera, orient to it, and press Command-Option-W again.
Waiting for response. Message input, edit text.
Okay, the music stopped. Let's see how we did this time.
4 from BeMyEyes, 11:02 p.m. This one is better centered. Your head and upper chest are fully in frame, with a bit of space above your head. Your face is still quite dark, though. The main light is still above and behind you, so your features are mostly in shadow. To improve it further on your Mac with the webcam, move a lamp or bright screen in front of you, just behind or beside the Mac, so the light shines toward your face. If possible, reduce the ceiling light behind you or turn it off, leaving the front light on. Raise the webcam to about eye level so it points straight at your face, not up from below. If you try another photo after adjusting the front light, I can tell you how it looks.
So because I took another picture directly in the chat, it remembered the context. So I took one picture, the first one, it said I wasn't in frame. The second one, it had enough contextual understanding to know that it was basically the same or similar picture and told me what I was looking to hear. Now, of course, if I was doing this for any practical reason, I might ask a follow-up question or get some other verification outside of AI, because of course AI is not perfect. But that's how I take a picture using BeMyAI. So I'm going to go back with Command left bracket.
Quick Actions, selected, tab.
And so those are the quick actions. I'm going to demonstrate history now. And what's interesting is at the time of recording, I discovered this when I was just kind of doing different keyboard shortcuts to see what common macOS keyboard shortcuts work and what doesn't work currently. Command 1, if you're focused in BeMyEyes, will take you to quick actions. Command 2 will take you to the groups feature, which my understanding is if you are a BeMyEyes workplace user, which is like an enterprise service for collaborative assistance or work, you can use groups to collaborate and communicate with others. That is not shown in the tab group, but if you press Command 2, it will bring you to groups, even if you can't use it. Command 3 will bring you to history. I don't know if that will change. I assume the ability to access groups, even if you're not a BeMyEyes workplace user, is a bug. I'm hoping that if they fix that so that users who are not BeMyEyes workplace users can't access groups, that history will be Command 2, because having quick actions as command 1 and history as command 3 with nothing at command 2 would be awkward. But I'm going to go to history now, and I'm just going to press command 3. It doesn't indicate it, but if I VO right,
History selected tab.
history,
Filter group.
we have filter, so if you interact,
In filter group. 3 items. All selected. Radio button.
you have all,
Kept. Radio button.
kept,
Shared. Radio button.
shared,
Shared. Radio.
and if I stop interacting and VO right,
Out of filter group. Today group.
today,
In today group. 4 items. A dimly lit indoor room with a person in the lower center of the frame. The camera is angled upward, so most of what I button.
this is what I just took. If I hit it with VO space,
Message input. Edit text.
I'm right back in the chat. Command left bracket
A dimly lit indoor room with a person in the lower center of the frame. The camera is angled upward, so most of what I button.
takes me right back to the list. I'll navigate with VO left and right, so if I VO right,
2 men wearing tandem skydiving harnesses in the open doorway of a small airplane. They are close together with a button.
okay, and so you get the picture. If I VO right, I can go through the history. It's organized by day, so if I stop interacting
Out of today group.
and VO right,
Tuesday group.
etc., interact and find the images for that day. Another feature of BeMyEyes for Mac, and it is there, but I don't know if it maybe needs some work, is a sharing extension. So one of the most common uses that I use BeMyEyes for, particularly on my iPhone, is I'll get sent a picture, from my family group chat, and I'll hit the share button on my iPhone and hit describe with BeMyEyes. And then, of course, BeMyAI will generate a description. Recently, that capability was added to BeMyEyes for Mac, so I could select an image, hit share, and then hit BeMyEyes. Now, when I do that, it will ask if I want to allow, I'll get a message like a TCC prompt asking if I want to allow sharing between apps. That's unique to this app, it seems. If I have other, sharing extensions for other apps and it doesn't ask that, I don't know if that's a bug or what, but that's the situation at the time of recording, July 2026. I also noticed that this was, at least for me, turned off by default. So if you want to use the BeMyEyes sharing extension, you may need to turn it on in System Settings. You go System Settings, General, Login Items and Extensions, and then find BeMyEyes, hit Show Detail, and make sure it's on. And I'm going to demonstrate that now, because I know that was a little wordy, so I'm going to go into System Settings.
Menu bar app System Settings ellipsis. Tuesday group. System. Window. Sidebar. Table. Row 12 of 39. General. Selected.
In General, VO Globe Right,
Scroll area.
Interact,
Scroll area. 16 items general. Apple Care AirDrop and autofill and password. Date and time. But language and region. Login items and extensions button.
Login Items and Extensions.
Login items and extensions window. Toolbar. Login items and extensions. Scroll area. And login item.
I'm going to jump to the Extensions heading.
Heading out background active heading extensions.
VO Right,
Extensions add extra functionality to your Mac and apps, and some may run in the background. By app selected radio button. 1 of 2. By category radio button. 2 of 2. BeMyEyes.
okay, BeMyEyes.
Show detail button. 5 items. Sharing. Sharing on switch.
Sharing on. If it's off for you and you want it on, just hit VO space.
For sharing content with others. Button. Done button.
I'm just going to hit done.
Show detail.
And that's all there is to it. So now I'm going to find an image to demonstrate.
BeMyEyes. BeMyEyes. Close. Pages. Close. Finder. Applet. Dropbox. Down. Image test.jpg.
Go.
Open. Move. Get. Rename. Compress. Duplicate. Make Ellie. Quick look. Copy. Share ellipsis. List image. In pop over. Edit text. Copy. Button. BeMyEyes. Button.
We have BeMyEyes.
List view. Table. Row. Downloads. Window. BeMyEyes. Application. Alert. System dialog. BeMyEyes would like to access data from other apps. Keeping app data separate makes it easier to manage your privacy and security. Don't allow. Button.
Okay, so that is just a message from Mac OS. Again, this appears to be unique to BeMyEyes. I don't know if it's a bug in how the sandbox is implemented, but either way,
One system dialog display.
you can just hit allow.
Allow button. BeMyEyes.
And whatever you share will be described. So, for example, this was the image I just shared, but
2 of 2 from BeMyEyes. 11:09.
and then so it did receive the image from the sharing extension and did describe it. So I'm going to go back now
Quick actions.
because that's pretty much the extent of the image description features. I'm just going to go briefly through the settings to give a sense of what you can do with it. Most of them are pretty self-explanatory, but if I hit Command comma to access settings,
Quick settings dialog. General tab 1 of 5.
we have General,
Account tab 2.
Account,
Keyboard shortcuts tab.
Keyboard Shortcuts,
Advanced tab 4 of 5.
Advanced.
Permissions tab.
and Permissions. So if I go
General tab 1 of 5. And keep permissions tab. Permissions tab. Out of general tab group. Enable sounds checked checkbox.
enable sounds,
Show my eyes in the menu bar unchecked checkbox.
show BeMyEyes in the menu bar. That is basically, if you have that, you'll have in your status menu which a history of your chats. I think that would be more convenient if the status menu had things like, take a screenshot or, a clipboard. So even if I didn't remember a shortcut, I could just go into the status menu and choose a command from anywhere in macOS. But for now, it's just the status menu just contains chat history. So I have that turned off. But if I veer it,
Start BeMyEyes when system starts unchecked checkbox.
we have that.
Start BeMyEyes when
Start BeMyEyes when system starts. If you're a frequent BeMyEyes user and you always want the shortcuts to be intercepted, and you don't have to think about opening BeMyEyes, you can have that. So just have BeMyEyes as a login item.
copy AI response to clipboard checked checkbox.
So if you copy response to clipboard, you don't even have to press Command C because anything that BeMyAI generates will just be automatically copied to the clipboard. Some people might want that. I don't. I don't like that, so I'm just going to uncheck that because I like to know what I'm pasting, and I might forget that I generated something with AI and then I'm pasting it later.
Select language. Selected language. American English. Change language button. Change language.
Okay, so that's General.
General inject account tab.
Account. It's just your account.
Keyboard shortcuts tab 3 of 5.
Keyboard shortcuts. This is interesting because if there's a certain shortcut that conflicts with something you already have or something you want to change, you can do that.
Out of keyboard shortcuts tab group.
I don't know if you're right.
Customize keyboard shortcuts. Press a button to change the associated keyboard shortcut. Screenshot. CMD plus Alt plus S button.
Screenshot.
Take picture. CMD plus Alt plus W button.
Take picture.
Image. CMD.
Image.
Clipboard. CMD.
Clipboard.
Clipboard.
And those are the keyboard shortcuts. If you want to change, hit that and input your own keyboard shortcut, which should work as long as nothing else is assigned to it. Again, that's useful if you wish a command had a different shortcut. It's a nice touch there. If I go back to the tab group.
Keyboard and keyboard shortcuts tab group. 5 items. Keyboard shortcuts tab. Advanced tab 4 of 5.
We have advanced.
Out of it, BeMyEyes desktop is built with Qt/PySide 6. Qt is used under the GNU Lesser General Public License version.
Okay, that's just credits information.
Open source notices button.
Okay.
Extract logs button.
Extract logs, which is useful for troubleshooting.
Reset settings button.
And reset.
Reset settings. Advanced permissions tab 5 of 5.
And permissions, which is another useful troubleshooting tool, is you can make sure that any permissions the app needs are granted. You can check the status. So if something's not working as expected, some things you might want to check are, make sure it has the necessary permissions. So you do that in this tab. We'll stop interacting.
Out of permissions tab group. Black circle. Camera. Camera enabled. Opens Mac OS settings button.
So if I wanted to change that, I'd hit that button and it would take me into privacy and security settings for camera, if you're right.
Black circle. Microphone. Microphone enabled. Opens Mac OS settings button. Black circle. Screen recording. Screen recording enabled. Opens Mac OS settings button. Black circle. Input monitoring. Input monitoring enabled. Opens Mac OS settings button. Black circle. Accessibility. Accessibility enabled. Opens Mac OS settings button. Accessibility.
And those are the permissions that have been granted to BeMyEyes, and that is BeMyEyes settings. So I'm going to close out of that.
BeMyEyes window. Quick actions selected.
Okay, so now here I am back in the main BeMyEyes window. So that's a demonstration and walkthrough of BeMyEyes for Mac. It can do a fair amount of things. There are just a few things that I think could make it feel a little more at home on Mac OS. I think like those message previews could be a little more refined, so they open in a pop-out window rather than a separate instance of the app. The menu bar, I think the menu bar currently is a bit sparse. So, for example, we have
menu, BeMyEyes,
BeMyEyes, and help.
Apple,
In the BeMyEyes menu, we have
BeMyEyes menu preferences, ellipsis, about, log out, close, command W, services, sub, hide, up, show up, quit, BeMyEyes, help, menu, check for up, help center, email support, send feedback, terms of service, privacy policy, search result, enter.
I feel like if more commands and keyboard shortcuts were in the menu bar, they'd be a bit more discoverable. But I think it's a good start, and I look forward to seeing how it improves in the future. I hope you've enjoyed this demo. Peace.
This podcast was brought to you by the community at AppleVis.com. AppleVis, empowering people who are blind, deafblind, or who have low vision to get the most from Apple products and related technologies. A proud member of the BeMyEyes family. For more information, visit our website at www.applevis.com.